Hello, welcome back to the Diamonds Are Rough podcast. We're back for Pat's post-game talk. I have JT as usual, and Ryan has joined us this time.
How we doing?
Going to talk about the Pats 29-0 victory over the Lions, but I want to first give an update to the cornerback, Savion Smith, who had a neck injury. It was quite scary. It was about 20-minute delay to the game where the ambulance was on the field. They were bringing his family and stuff. He's got all his motor skills, and he tweeted out that he's all good and he'll be back soon. So that's good to hear because it was quite scary.
So what actually happened? So I was watching the game, obviously, home, and it looked like Hunter Henry just made a move on him, and he just fell. It looked like he passed out.
Yeah, they said neck injury. I'm not completely sure of what happened, but whenever they're bringing on family from the stands, it's terrifying. So I'm just glad he's all good.
So scary.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it.
JC, you start us off.
Yeah. You're the host, Ryan.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'll get to my Zappy tangent later.
God.
But from the start of this game, real defensive dub, all around, could not have asked a better day from our defense, not allowing a single point, stopping them on fourth down, six times on fourth down. No, not once did they get it. I don't know, everything just was clicking on defense. We looked just gross against the top scoring offense in the whole league, though everybody was hurt. So it doesn't really validate that.
Well, let me say something quick about that. Because everyone was saying top scoring offense, which they looked like a legit offense all 4 games. And then as soon as we did that, but it's the Lions. So let's give some credit. A shutout in the NFL, no matter who it's against, is impressive, and it was against the top scoring offense.
I'm trying to think, have there even been any other shutouts this year? I don't even know. I don't even think there have been. Just an incredible feat for us. Beautiful, beautiful dub.
I don't know where we get these cornerbacks from. Jack Jones, Arizona State. I don't know about that. N'Keal Harry, kind of.
Bad vibes.
But no, seriously, though, they do that when we lost Gilmore, they had J.C. Jackson, and he was unbelievable. And then J.C. Jackson leaves, we get Jack Jones. But I don't know, is Steve Belichick good at his job? I don't know where these guys come from. Because Jack Jones, I don't know the exact quote, but he said he felt disrespected by Aaron Rodgers throwing towards him on an out route. I wouldn't go that far, but he has 2 interceptions back-to-back games. Our defense has a touchdown in back-to-back games. But that's just a Bill Belichick run team. I mean, Detroit hasn't beat us at home since 93. I didn't think they were getting it done with Goff, but it's the Hard Knocks curse.
And that's another thing, too. I think Bill has Goff read like a book, even from the days back when they were in the Super Bowl. This guy has absolutely no idea how to play against Belichick, ever.
Yeah. Amon-Ra came back that game. So they can't really make any claims that they didn't have their best players. I did start TJ Hawkinson for my fantasy team.
Tough.
But
one catch.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Johnny?
Oh, well, just Patriots have always been good with turnover in terms of positions that aren't necessarily the skill positions. I think wide receiver and tight end, sometimes they'll have issues with that, but in terms of overall turnover with both the offensive and defensive lines and the secondary, they've always been very good with that. And Jack Jones is a guy who fell in the draft because of stuff not football related. And the Patriots usually capitalize on those guys where if they do think the personality fit is there, they'll take him, and it seems he is a rookie, 4th round draft pick. For those who've been listening, JT and I have been annoying the amount of times we talk about this guy since preseason, and he's been showing up a lot sooner than I think both of us thought.
I mean, this year's draft had a crazy cornerback class. A lot of them are making big impacts as rookies, but it's good to actually have a good draft
Yeah, well,
as a Pats fan.
the Pats rookies have been crazy. Another flawless game from Cole Strange, the O lineman, who was a terrible pick, according to so many people. No pressures.
The Rams could be using Cole Strange. You watched that game last night? Their O line is horrendous.
To be fair, the Dallas defense is really good. But yes, the Rams have a lot of issues. But Cole Strange, amazing game. First game for Tyquan Thorne, had a couple of catches.
He looked good.
Marcus Jones is seeming like an elite returner. I know was there only one punt? Because they went for it on fourth so much because
6 times.
They'd be in midfield and they just didn't trust their kicker at all. And we stopped them every time. And then Jack Jones obviously showing he is elite. And then you have Schooler, the undrafted guy, who's the gunner on the special teams, which that stuff matters. So just really good draft and undrafted guys they got. The most impressive thing to me about the defense is the Lions' offensive line is elite. It is. I
wouldn't say outside of Penny Sewell or however you pronounce his name.
They're one of the best centers in the league right now. Yes. And then you got Decker on the left tackle. It's a good O-line. It's the main reason the running game is so good from the Lions.
I was gonna say Jamal Williams. It looks like a running back one in this offense with DeAndre Swift being out. Like this line is carrying them to this point. That's why they're putting up so many points, because they can run the ball effectively, which allows them to pass the ball effectively. With they have Jared Goff, who is playing with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I actually think is amazing. I could go on a tangent about him because I have him in fantasy in every league, but that's besides the point. I just think that I don't even know. I kind of lost my.
Yeah, I think what we forgot to address, and that's why I have this hat right here, 1960. We'll put it on real quick. Not a big hat guy, but we won because of our jerseys, plain and simple. They are arguably, in my opinion, the best jerseys in football. I wish they wore them more often. They're just so good with those jerseys. Like I think I don't know. They're unbelievable.
The field looked amazing too.
It did.
They really went all out with it, and it had been long awaited, and it was fantastic to see some more Pats defense, because really that was the story of the game. We got some stuff to talk about with the offense, but everyone played great. Like I couldn't find anyone that I was like, he didn't have a great game. Like Uche had 4 pressures. Mac Wilson was making tackles all over the field.
Raquan Mcmillan.
Yup, Mcmillan.
I noticed this season though, like Judon last year had a crazy first 10 games, and then he kind of got fatigued. But this year he has he played okay against the Packers, and then he played unbelievable this week. And he's definitely our best defensive player. And could we agree on that?
Yeah, I mean 6 sacks in 5 games is
He just really some games he disappears, and then but can't complain. He's definitely is he the highest paid player on the Patriots?
Defense, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole team.
But yeah, he is. I don't know. I guess we expect more from him after his crazy first year with the Pats, but it's crazy. We don't have other than Judon, who's a big name guy on our defense, and we're arguably we held the Packers to 27 points. I mean, that's good enough against
overtime as well.
Yeah,
that counts. I mean, I think we don't have a lot of big name guys on defense because people don't respect a lot of the guys on defense. I mean, I think anyone who watched a full Patriots game would look at Kyle Duggar and go, this guy's all over the field. He impacts every single play. Why is he not talked about amongst these safeties? And for the football heads who understand about you got to set the edge on outside runs and things like that, Dietrich Wise is a phenomenal player to watch, but he's not a flashy guy. He had the one game against Baltimore where he got 3 sacks, but in general, he's just bringing pressure, playing good football, setting the edge, doing the things you really want to see And then you have Godchow, defensive tackle. I think he's fantastic at stuffing the run, but once again, he's not like a sack the quarterback guy that everyone likes to notice and talk about those guys. And again, cornerbacks, you don't got big names, but Jack Jones, according to PFF, we saw today, best cover corner in the NFL. Jonathan Jones is 4th best cover corner in the NFL. These are according to PFF, which I always like to say, take with a grain of salt.
I'm glad we have not said the name Jalen Mills though, because he is trash. I don't want to hear any good things.
He's having some hamstring issues, but I think
good. Keep him off the field. We are better with him. Miles Bryant, I'll have his 4'11" build
really
over him. They're both not good, but Jalen Mills, I feel every game we see him get burned.
I have hopes. I have hopes for Jalen Mills. I think his impact off the field is incredible. I think he is a great teammate, and you can laugh at it, whatever. You need those guys. Like,
no, you definitely do.
I saw the after the game locker room. You know, they always do that after a win. They show the locker room. All the guys seem to really like each other, and that is something I noticed because I've seen in years past. Sometimes you see a win, it's like these guys just hate each other. They're not going anywhere. Like Tom's final year after the wins, dude, no one cared. Like Tom was out at that point. Like for Patriots fans who were shocked Tom left, I was like, you could see it weeks before the season ended. He wanted to leave, so it is a good thing to see. But I think we covered like everything with the defense. It's just they all played amazing. There's nothing bad to say.
I love how like it's crazy. Like Duggar, we took as I don't know what round we got him, maybe 3rd round, but
2nd round.
He played D2, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's not going to be good." And then meanwhile, you got Jabril Peppers, who was like the #1 player in the country coming out of high school. He went 1st round, and it's just crazy. Like it doesn't matter where you're from, Belichick's gonna like.
That's his whole motto. That's his whole thing. I mean, he truly, look, David Akwale plays more than Christian Barmore, a 2nd round pick. Most Patriots fans, me included, would like to see Barmore out there more than like Akwale, but Bill's all about who's the right guy to play. So, but we'll move to the offense. JT, I know you have a lot to say about the man under center. So I'm gonna let you go with it. I already know I'm gonna be upset with whatever you're gonna say, so just go for it.
Well, all right. Before we move on to the offense, I do want to say I was on the Duggar train from day one. Did not care that this kid was a D2 athlete. As soon as we drafted him that early, I knew for a fact that they were not fucking around. They were gonna nail that pick because they would look so dumb, so incredibly dumb, if they didn't make that right.
Yeah, they traded back for him. They were that confident, and so many teams were upset that we took him.
And he's just an amazing athlete and professional. And
literally all over the field, every single play. It's amazing.
I'm kind of pissed he switched jersey numbers though, because I did get his jersey when he was a rookie. 35, terrible safety numbers. Should not have bought the jersey, but I have it. Whatever. Moving on to the offense. Bailey Zappi, huh? How about him? He executed the offense pretty all right. He did fine. The pick was definitely not his fault. I mean, like, first of all, we need to let Aguilar walk this offseason as fast as possible. That he cannot be on this team anymore. He plays too much and makes too many turnovers happen. None of the other receivers do it like he does. That's one thing that needs to change. Bailey Zappi, back to him. I mean, I think it could be really good for Mac to even have someone semi-competitive, more than Brian Hoyer, in that locker room, to get him at least juiced up a little bit to feel like he doesn't have complete job security. That's really my point now. I don't think he's going to start. That's ridiculous. If you think he's going to play, if you think this is like a Bledsoe Brady thing, like that's silly. At least right now, of course. Like if Mac doesn't play the next 4 games and he continues to win, then everybody's going to be like, all right, well, now it could be a question. But for now, that's all I have to say.
Johnny,
Ryan,
I'll let you take that. Oh,
you want me? I thought you give your Zap thing, and then I want to I just
Well,
want to
you
put
said
it
you
to,
were automatically gonna hate whatever JT had said. So
no,
wanted
I
you
was
to
expecting
follow.
him to go a little
Yeah,
more,
I'm not
a
crazy.
little
about it.
crazier on it. But you got something to say, and then I want to put it to bed because I got a lot of thoughts because I've heard a lot of things, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so
let you go.
you go.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've heard way too many people saying to start this man. Way too many people. He was, don't get me wrong, impressive for being a 4th-round quarterback out of Western Kentucky. The moment doesn't seem too big for him. He put a lot of work in. He took care of the football. The interception was not his fault. I agree. All that, great. Very impressed with him. Happy with him. There's more potential than I initially thought. Agreed. Let's be realists, though. Let's just be realistic, okay? By far the worst defense in the NFL. By far. Okay.
Maybe ever.
It's really bad. Like Anzalone is their best defensive player, a middle linebacker.
No, Hutchinson. Come on, respect.
He was terrible.
He was.
Hutchinson is not that good. He's really not. And don't say the 3-sack game because he got spoon-fed all those sacks.
I
He
didn't
was
mean
just in
to
the
take
area.
away from your Zappy takes. I'm
But
sorry.
we'll do the Zabby thing. We can agree the Lions defense ass. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. All right. He's also at home. That is a factor because when you're on the road, you can guarantee probably 5 to 6 plays due to crowd noise is just messed up. And that's going to be tough on a quarterback. He didn't have that. He's at home. It's nice and easy for him. All the plays are set up super easy for him. He doesn't have to make any reads. He has one option. If that option isn't there, you dump it off or you throw it away. That's not necessarily showing that you're a quarterback. That is coaching, making it super, super easy on him. It is the type of things that, not that we have quarterback arms, but we could understand it of just, you have one read. If he's open, you throw it. If he's not, you throw it away or you dump it off. It's not that difficult because you would see, I remember there was a Devontae Parker deep throw he did. The throw was to him, no matter what. He got it. He immediately looked. Parker was covered. He threw it. He airmailed it so no one could catch it. That was his job. Don't turn over the ball. The run game was amazing. When the run game is that effective, it is very easy as a quarterback to do what he did. The touchdown pass, there were 5 defensive backs injured for the Lions. So the already horrendous defense of the Lions now has 3rd stringers and practice squatters trying to cover the Patriots' best receivers. It was a good throw. It was a good touchdown, but again, tough for me to take it as, oh my gosh, look at that pass, right?
JT was calling timeout though. I don't know if he had anything to.
Yeah, I was gonna argue, John, that like Mac had an amazing year last year, right?
Yeah.
But he was essentially in that same kind of like spoon-fed offense all last year. Like we were talking about it. Like,
Agreed.
They kept the wraps on him. Like they didn't want him like airing it out. Like you saw him this year. Like that's the reason he's not as played as well because he's trying different things now.
Completely agree. So
I think Mac would have looked exactly if we took this time last year. Mac actually he probably would have lit it up. But I don't know. All right, fair enough.
I mean, like at the beginning, that's how the offense was, but it definitely evolved towards the end. And I look specifically at that Browns game where he was dotting it up, doing multiple looks, things like that, really testing himself out. But yes, I understand. And I'm not saying it was bad. It was the right thing to do, is to make it easy for the kid who was never supposed to start a game this year. And he did fantastic with it. And all the players love him. And that is fantastic, the stuff that he has done. And the final thing I want to say is Patricia is a great play caller and offensive coordinator, and we need to accept that.
All right, now I need to talk.
You gotta talk. You gotta disagree with that.
No. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're
added
up.
fuel to the fire. First, I'd like to say, we have like actually weapons. Like if we had these weapons, Brady's last year, that team could have went farther than a 1st round exit. But
thank you.
Thornton is good. Hunter Henry, I'm glad he was actually touching the ball. But I don't know. The Patriots offense is you run the ball twice, you throw it, okay, we're punting. And Zappe versus the Packers, I know he almost threw that pick, but they should have went for it on fourth. The Pats offense is so one-dimensional, and Patricia is only there because Belichick did not want to spend more money. However, I love Patricia and the fact we beat the Lions because the Lions are paying Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins $18 million combined, and they are not even on the roster. Or Trey Flowers, he's not on the roster, right?
No,
I don't know.
he's on the Dolphins.
Patricia, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a good offensive coordinator. Like Josh McDaniels is light years ahead of him, and it's too early still. We haven't really played anyone.
They're 1-3, and that team on paper is disgusting. So why is his offense not?
They have played better teams than us.
Tearing it up. They're not scoring though. They're not scoring at all.
No, speaking of 1-3, like the Patriots coming into this week were the best 1-3 team ever. We knew they were going to run the ball down their throat. Ramondre is a savage. I love him. He's 240 pounds. It's sad though because Damian Harris last year had 15 touchdowns, and unfortunately he did get hurt, but even without the injury, he wasn't being utilized much. And that's just the whole New England Patriots. Like you never want any of them on your fantasy football team. And but
big Damian Harris guy actually.
Although Jacoby Myers is actually fantasy viable, he is consistent.
No, but that's what I was going to say. That's the great part about our football team. And JT did say he hates Aguilar, and I'm not disagreeing. But versus Steelers, he had a great game, and that's what I was going to get to. Is every week you don't know who's going to have a big game. So Myers had the big game. Hunter Henry could have the big game. Thornton, he was looking way better than I thought, especially coming off that injury. But I don't know, like Zappe, he looked as though he's not better than Mac. It's the whole Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott thing. It's like not even a question. I mean, they're winning. That's great. It's like when we had Brady got suspended, Jimmy G came in, then Brissett came in, they won. Like that's all you can ask for. But the plays they were calling for Zappe, granted, worst defense ever. We were actually throwing the ball, and rarely do they throw the football. Like if they throw the football once and it isn't good, they're running it to Harris. And again, that was a bad defense, but it's so hard to win games when the defense just knows you're giving it to Stevenson and we don't have that James White anymore to dump off and have a receiving running back. But 2-3, Cleveland, they're just blowing games. I mean, we're looking good. Can't say anything bad.
There's a lot of talent on this team. That is something I'll say. Just the quick Patricia thing. Horrendous play calling week 1. Don't get me wrong, one of the worst offensive play calling games I've seen. Steelers, clear improvements. There was some variety in it. Once Montgomery was out and we went with the 2 backs, that's when the offense started getting a lot better. That Ravens play calling was fantastic to me, and it was all Mac making mistakes out there. Other than the 4th and 3 play call, which was horrendous. Other than that Ravens game was great. I was at the game, so I obviously have like a different perspective, and I see a lot more. But week 4 to put up 24 points, was that when you're not planning on him even playing against a very good Packers defense is good.
Well, granted, we had the pick 6.
We did have the pick 6. That is true. That's a very good point.
My thing is just what qualifies Patricia to be an offensive coordinator. He was wasn't he? He was a defensive coordinator. Then he was
a defensive coordinator.
Then he gets the Lions head coach, does a horrible stint. And speaking of horrible stints, Matt Rule, I love you. Thank you for taking the Panthers' money. He's getting $40 million for 5 more years. I love it.
Hey, we have their pick, the 3rd and 6th round. So
the Panthers, we do.
It's fantastic for us. So keep sucking. They're gonna try and trade their 3 best players. Fantastic.
But that gets into my next point about like how vital coaching is. Like the Panthers, they have so much talent, they suck. But I was listening to some Detroit Lions, like I saw the feed, and they were all blaming Dan Campbell, and essentially like Their GM has drafted very well the past couple of years. They were also claiming like first-year coaches such as Brian Dable could have come in and done a better job. However, Detroit's just cursed. I mean, it's so hard. No matter how much talent they have, it's so hard to win in the NFL. People just overlook that because, again, Patriots make it look so easy all these years, but just to win a game is so difficult.
Real quick about the Detroit drafting well. I think it's tough. First off, one of their first round picks isn't playing in Jameson Williams, who I think is a good pick. I think he's going to be the best receiver.
Be very good.
I think he's going to be the best receiver in the class. I think he's going to be great. But he's
not
playing.
That is ridiculous.
In the class.
Drake London, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I stand by it.
We'll see.
They've been great. Don't get me wrong. They've been great. That's what I believe. But obviously he hasn't played, so I'm looking real stupid right now. Cool. But Aiden Hutchinson, I don't think is good. I'm sorry.
Well, my thing is
he doesn't
Sewell was a great pick.
Sewell's a great pick. And I'm not hearing anyone saying Okudah was a good pick yet. He had some solid games with a lot of safety help. He had moments where he was really good on single coverage.
I hate that term. Like, he had safety help. It's like DK Metcalf said that against him. It's like against the game, he played well against Justin Jefferson. It's like, why wouldn't you have safety help against the best?
Yeah, no, most guys have safety help. I guess my point more is like
he was an individual.
It's the first time he has put it together. Because he's looked terrible, and then he had the ACL injury. And it's the first time he's put it together and looked like, oh, this guy could be a cornerback one. He's looking really good. So I just kind of want to temper it a little bit instead of being like that. They nailed that pick,
My thing with Hutchinson, though, like, I didn't even think he should. Like, everyone was saying he should go one. Even, I think Tracy Walker went one, or I don't know his first name. Walker went one from UGA. That was even a stretch. I mean, he's had a great rookie year, but it was kind of like they had to pick Hutchinson, and Hutchinson he started 1 year at Michigan, and he did put up crazy numbers, but I agree with you. I think he's definitely overrated, but I do think he has potential, and he could be like all you can ask for if you have a high pick, top 5 pick, like you're just trying to build around someone. It's hard for him to be good though. They have no D tackles, they have no pressure, they have no containment. Like,
to be fair though,
that line look good.
To be fair, that is why defensive ends go so high in the draft, is because they can change drives by themselves. That's the whole point of them going high. But I think the broadcasters explained it well with Aiden Hutchinson. They highlighted him during the game where they said, like, he has a lot to work on. He needs to get his move. Every great pass rusher has a go-to move that they can just go, I'm just going to go with it and see if it works, right? And he doesn't have that. And they were saying how he needs to get that, and then he needs to work on his other stuff. Because right now, it's almost kind of sad watching him. I'm sorry. He's doing these half spins that just don't work when it's a 360-pound Trent Brown. Like, they just don't work. You're not big enough or fast enough. But
we have a good O-line, though. Like, they play sloppy and they get flags, but we do.
Other than one guy. Isaiah Wynn is not good. He has now, I believe, 7 penalties this year, and in second place is 14 guys with 1. So
yeah, and we took him and Sony Michelle over so many greats.
Nick Chubb.
Okay, Sony Michelle, I'm defending. He had a great run to help us with a Super Bowl. I understand.
Oh yeah,
the rest wasn't good, but when I guess you can't be too mad also because he's been a starter for so long, but it is kind of at the point where he's really not that great.
Imagine if you drafted Nick Chubb instead of Sony Michelle.
But you get why. Like, he was injured.
I mean,
that would have been ridiculous, though.
I'm cool with our running backs.
No.
Which can we, JT, we're both Damian Harris guys.
Oh, love.
I think Ryan is too, right? Damian Harris guy.
Yeah.
Is it time to just go, hey, I think Stevenson's better?
Well, I think as soon as the season started, to cut you off, JT, I'll be quick, but they basically said, yeah, this guy had almost 1,000, 15 touchdowns. Yeah, we want to trade him because they saw Stevenson in training camp. So it's kind of they already gave Stevenson the keys.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like the Pats are like the Celtics. They draft like 800 point guards and then only use 2 of them. We get 800 running backs and we don't use any of them. Like we got a kid from South Carolina, Kevin Harris. As of the game, he had 300 yards and 5 TDs versus LSU. He'll probably never see the field. Like, why do we get him? He's very like
He's on the practice squad.
that's
Yeah,
what?
I don't know. I went to one of the practices and he was running routes for a little bit. Dude, he looked like such a bum out there. I was like, oh my God. He was dropping everything, running bad routes, getting yelled at. I was like, geez, like you're the later running back.
I love Kendrick Bourne, but Bill Belichick definitely hates that man.
Dude, he was screaming at him on the sideline.
Every game. He missed
Dude,
one play. Once you're like 30 seconds late, Bill hates you forever. And he's like the most, I don't even know how to say it. He's like the best yards after catch receiver we definitely have.
This is why, although Jacoby Myers
Jacoby probably takes dives every time.
Like that's what I'm saying, dude. No one
Jacoby's
does
the
it.
best wide receiver we have.
No, but I'm saying no one does it in the league, but he dives every single time to get an extra yard or two, and it's like so worth it, so great, but like I don't see receivers doing it at all. And talking about the being late thing, as messed as it is, a recent story of the former tackle or guard got in a car accident because he was late, because he knew he'd be cut if he didn't. Like, which that's extreme.
Yeah, he purposely got in the car.
Don't do that. That's immoral. I can't believe he even said that. But
he only said that because podcasts are popular now.
Yeah, he only said it to get his name out there, probably. But also, just to go back to a point you said of you don't know who would draft number 2. I've been very vocal on who I would have drafted number 1.
Who would
Kyle Hamilton, and he has been amazing.
Not to like.
Yeah, I hate anyone from Notre Dame and the Ravens, but
that's cool. But he's been amazing, so I'm willing to stand on that for a while and be proven wrong. But
my dog just fucking.
I think his dog agrees with Kyle Hamilton, but
no, I can't think of people off the top of my head in the draft, but
I mean that I saw it as there wasn't a true number 1, and I thought he was the best player in the draft. That was my whole thing. And I know it's crazy to take a safety first overall. That's why he fell so much. But that was just a quick side thing that I wanted to say because you said you didn't know who they'd take, and that's why I would have taken. But I feel like we honestly covered it. We got into Zappy, talked about Stevenson, the wide receivers we talked about, the defense, obviously, we had plenty to say about.
Well, that's the thing with the Patriots. Like, we are a boring team, but they find a way to win games. And would you rather be a Vikings fan that they have super cool players, but they don't really win that much, but you get to see Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook have be really good, or do you want Zappy and you get a dub?
To be fair, Vikings are 4-1 this year.
They are. I mean, Justin.
But in history, they always have the cool players, but they're they just can't put it together. I wonder. What were you saying?
Cleveland, look at their roster. They just traded for Deion Jones. I mean, he hasn't played this year, but he's a top middle linebacker.
Yep.
On paper, every year they have the most disgusting team, and they're just bad.
Yeah. I bet Patriots would, if you went to, just average football fans, Patriots would be on the lower end of how many players these, normal fans could name. They really don't have a lot. Some people might not even know who Mac Jones is. I feel like average football fans, not our level where we watch all the games in red zone and whatnot.
Well, everyone knows. Everyone just hates the Patriots.
Oh yeah,
going to school in South Carolina, we won it my freshman year against the Rams. Everyone was just so mad. Not even that. They were just the Pats won. And obviously it was the most boring Super Bowl, arguably. But everyone just hates them. And unfortunately, I went to school with a bunch of Eagles fans, and they're the worst breed of Philadelphia fans in general are just not the best.
And they're
Yeah,
nasty.
no.
But they're good this year, so it sucks. And I know you guys saw the tweet or whatever. Like, we don't have the infrastructure to hold a Bills Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That could
That would
happen.
that would be the worst, man. Bills fans, when they sucked, people were trying to be like, this fan base is so great. And now that they're good, oh my God, I can't stand them. I'm sorry. Like, they lose the windy game to us, and they're like, we need to build a dome. This is ridiculous. Like anything they could do. Like, I just, when that happened, I'm like, just take the loss. Like, you're gonna destroy us next game. You really gotta, like.
But that's what I said. Like, a Pats fan, you get to watch a win with Mac Jones throwing it 35 yards. Like, who enjoys that? I mean, Damian Harris fans did enjoy that one. But
That was amazing. That was one of my favorite games of all time. 'Cause it'd be 3rd and 8, and you're like, there's no team I'd rather try to run for a first down here than the New England Patriots. And everyone, primetime Monday night, is fuming, and I'm there like, this is how we win. This is the way we beat the Bills, is 70-mile-per-hour wins and Damian Harris running the ball. This is football. This is what Bill Belichick likes, like a Navy-style game. It was,
yeah, I'm surprised we don't run the triple option.
Low-key, I am too.
Wait, the like Aaron Rodgers, like where he has both the running backs. That's what I want to see. Like,
Oh,
let's
the
go Damian-
pony formation.
Damian and Ramondre out there, that would be sick. Because
Yeah,
Damian
give me
actually
Wildcat
block.
Ramondre.
They would do that. I think they do it with Harris actually.
They
which
do
is
it with
kinda
Harris,
weird.
actually, yeah. But
Just
Harris and the Wildcat and Ramondre in motion. Wildcat.
it's
I'm surprised they didn't. I mean,
if Zappy got hurt, they would have.
they did the read option was happy at the end.
Did we sign Blaine Gabbert?
No,
No.
we signed
Something
Garrett
yeah,
Gilbert.
Some random guy.
Garrett Gilbert. Just a journeyman, but basically he's been on the team for three different stints. So they're like, well, you know the offense. So
Yeah,
you know the
also we
offense
didn't
is
even
different.
touch on the fact that like Zappy threw for 6,000 yards and 62 touchdowns in college. Obviously, like not a Power 5 conference,
Yeah.
but that's still
Very, very bad teams out there.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
still though,
It is.
still.
It's cool, but you know,
yeah,
I
it's
get
like you
frustrated
made
when
a team
someone-
of Madden and you put it on.
I get
Madden.
frustrated when someone brings it up to try to say why we should let Zappy loose and throw it all the time. That kind of annoys me. JT knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
but
I think we actually need a professional offensive coordinator. Like our defense can only win us so many. games.
you really don't think Patricia's good?
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying like,
Like,
but I'm telling you, every drive, I'll tell you what happens: run, pass. first
so
down,
with
punt.
no, but be honest with me. Be honest with me.
Yeah.
In the Packers game,
Yes.
Hoyer gets hurt, and now Zappy is in on the road in Lambeau, and you have the lead. You want to do something different than run, pass.
First of
Would
all,
you-
I'm
would
even
you-
talking with Mac Jones in the game. We're
No,
playing the Ravens.
but if you look at that Ravens game, that is never how it was. It was not run, pass. There were multiple times where first down, he's hucking it.
All I'm saying is I would like for us to throw the ball on consecutive plays. Like we always get a first down. We throw for a first down, and then immediately we just run for a 1-yard gain. It's like I would like us to.
I
That's how
hear
our
you.
offense is, but
I hear you, and I do understand, but next time Mac is in, that is a fair time to, I guess, criticize that. I think when you do have a third string quarterback and you're against, for instance, in this game, the worst defense, and really Pop Warner style football is going to get you the win probably.
well, I just think we already touched on it. We have really good wide receivers, and we don't really get like I said, fantasy. One of them has a good week, but that's because they're not really getting that many targets.
Which Ryan, we don't talk football a lot, but I appreciate you saying that, because I've heard so many people say Mac doesn't have weapons and this and that, and it just frustrates me because it's like,
No, like Tom Brady's last year, we had the worst wide receivers in that. Like Edelman was good, but there was no one. And then we obviously overpaid for Aguilar and Jonnu and Hunter Henry, but I like Parker. Like they're good. Like if they're in Madden, like all of them are going to be an 80 overall, and that's better than having like 190 and a bunch of 60s. Like
I
don't
would
know.
with those weapons, I don't think Tom Brady leaves.
Mm,
But they
I
trade
really
him.
don't,
They
'cause-
get more though.
What?
They would probably get. I would say like he would keep what they have, or like try to get a real number one still. Like DJ
That's
Moore.
fair.
now
He
Hill.
might go to them and say, like, I still want like a guy, but this is still good or whatever. But I just don't think there would have been as many issues. Truly, the N'Keal Harry pick ended the dynasty, because you don't pick N'Keal Harry, you draft like AJ Brown, let's say.
First of all, it's not that you picked N'Keal Harry. It's that, okay, DK, we'll cross DK off. He had a broken neck. But AJ Brown and
Yep.
Deebo Samuels and, well, Marquise Brown was the first wide receiver taken, and he's pretty good, but I can't. Imagine if we had Deebo.
Yeah.
And Debo loved the Pats too. He was like, "I'll see you, Bill." Like
AJ Brown cried he didn't get picked by the Pats.
I know, dude. So many misses in that draft.
That it's the toughest.
We've talked about this before, Johnny. The Patriots have never drafted a good wide receiver.
They can't do it. Rounds 6 and undrafted, they're solid.
Do you remember Aaron
Edelman,
Dobson?
Jacoby Myers? I do remember Aaron Dobson, which I actually was for that pick, and there weren't a lot of good wideouts in that draft, so they didn't miss that bad, and he also had some games, I guess. But yeah, they're not good with wide receivers, and the N'Keal Harry pick was just a Bill Belichick ego thing, which sometimes he makes his dumb GM decisions like that because everyone in the organization wanted AJ Brown. He said, I had a good interview with N'Keal Harry, so that's where we're going. And
He
then
should just
obviously
not be allowed to draft. Like, he should only draft defensive players and then give it to someone else. Like, I don't know why.
I wouldn't be
that would be
opposed to that of just
probably
going
would.
Bill. Yeah, it would never happen, but like Bill,
He would never coach that team in a million years. You're drafting for Bill. There's no way.
if it was like Bill, you can draft defensive guys, running backs, O linemen, and we'll hear your say on quarterback. But other than that,
Well, do you
tight
remember
end too.
Do you remember the draft like over COVID and like Bill was in Nantucket and it was his husky was on the laptop and Bill just wasn't in the room? Yeah. That's who really picked N'Keal Harry. They by accident like hit the wrong button.
That's what it felt
But
like.
I guess like my question to you guys would be like, I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but like we're 2-3 right now. What do you think we finish?
John, I think I said this a couple of podcasts ago. I said, we have the Packers and the Lions. We're going to go 1-1. Obviously, we lost to the Packers. That happened. Coming up next, we have the Browns. And then after that, I think it's like the Bears,
Yep.
the Jets, and then a bye, and then the Jets again. To which I said,
Jets, Colts, bye, Jets.
Colts are in there. And the Colts are also terrible. Matt Ryan is horrible. If Jonathan Taylor's healthy, though, that's kind of scary. But besides the fact, those are all very, very winnable games, especially if Mac's there. If Mac's not there, then it's honestly a coin flip every time you touch the field. But with
So
Mac,
do you have a number off the top of your head? Like,
I'm sticking with 7-10. They are, by my prediction of the schedule, on schedule. I had them at 7-10. I had them winning, going 2-3 up to this point. I'm sticking with 7-10.
going 9-8, 100%.
is this Belichick's last season?
Absolutely not.
He is going until he breaks that wins
I
record.
was gonna say,
That's
he needs to
just the
beat Dable.
facts of it.
Well, that's three seasons.
Yeah. He's going to break the wins record. And then honestly, I think he's just going to go, all right, I'm going to be the GM. Let's look for a new coach. So like we can set him up for the next.
He's just going so Steve has a job. But
Steve might honestly be the head coach when he's done. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think what's happening is he's going to break the wins record. Then he's going to say, I'm just going to be the GM. We're going to find a new head coach for this team to set the Patriots up for the future. And I'm going to be like,
there's no way. Once he's
be
done,
like
he's
an
getting
active
away.
assistant for a couple of years. So they're good. I think he'd do that because the Patriots have done a lot for him.
He's
in
buying
his
a
life,
big
in his
cabin in the
career.
woods and he's getting away.
He has a great relationship with the organization, and I think that's what he wants to do. But could be wrong. We'll
The
see.
new stadium's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
It is going to be wild. And what I said to JT is the big thing with it is Gillette Stadium is loud, but that area where they're doing the scoreboard has always been open and a lot of crowd noise escapes. And there was a study that if that was blocked off, it is as loud as Arrowhead, which is one of the toughest places to play at.
Yeah, sports science, Johnny D.
So the scoreboard, as amazing as it's going to be the longest scoreboard in the NFL, is mainly used to keep crowd noise in to create a bigger home field advantage.
No, they
That's
deserve it.
awesome.
They have 6 championships. There's college football stadiums that are way bigger than Gillette, and they're bad college football teams.
Props to the Crafts. They're using their own money to do it too. They're
good GMs and owners.
They're good owners, and it's what you like to see because some of these, the Commanders owners, or the Suns owners going to basketball, or Don Sterling with the Clippers. Like, you could go to a lot of owners where
I know this is like off topic, but like we just really have to admit that like Aaron Rodgers, like I can't believe we almost beat him with Zappy. And like I can't. Like, they obviously lost to the Giants, and I know like he chose $50 million over Devontae Adams, but I can't believe, like, there used to be like Aaron Rodgers at school, everyone would say Aaron Rodgers is 10 times better than Brady. It's like, how
wild. That is a conversation for another day. I think we touched on everything, so I'm good to wrap it up. I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts.
Yeah, no, JT, it was nice to meet you. Hopefully we get to see a win in Cleveland. Cleveland's had a tough start of the season, bunch of close losses, but I will say this because it's early. Nick Chubb is easily rushing for over 100 yards against us.
Oh,
I'm taking the under, believe it or not.
Taking the under on that 100.
We'll check back.
We'll check 10. Back. We'll check back.
I mean, he might break off for like a long one, but if you take that long one out, 100% the under.
Well, he's getting like 30 carries, but we'll check back. I just want to say it now, so it was on record.
Yep, fair enough.
And also, great to have you on, Ryan. I do these.
Thank you.
Doing these weekly with John, and they're a lot of fun, and it's also fun to have other people come on because way different views than me and John have, which I love. And it's probably better for the listening experience as well, because we would have probably talked about Jack Jones for 30 minutes, and it's good that we moved off that.
Yeah, no, it was a good vibe here.
He deserves it. Jack Jones does deserve it, though.
He's him.
Last question though: if you are a Patriots fan, whose jersey do you buy? Because I don't know who to get.
For me, Jack Jones. Truthfully,
okay,
because I think he's just going to be here for a while, and
that's the point.
Personality.
Well, thank you.
But this was good. Definitely good to get a third person in here. We all gelled really well, I think. Next week, gonna do a review of the Pats Cleveland game again. JT will join us, and a new person who's actually a Browns fan will also join us, Champa. So that will be interesting. Hopefully we have a win so we can razz on him a little bit, and not the other way around. Because
then we'd be hearing about Brissett the whole time.
Well, I had to do one of those with a Dolphins fan, and we got kind of spanked, and it wasn't that great. But this is good.
Prayers up to the Dolphins quarterback.
Their whole team's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Prayers up to the Dolphins season.
Yeah, they were looking real good, and now it. But all right, thank you everyone for listening.
See you, Johnny.
See you, Ryan. See you, JT. Thank you everyone for listening. Tune in next time.